Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the one true God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and I want to send salutations to all the Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, exalting the name of Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity. Alright, so this lesson is going to be about how, based upon how you look, it does not determine whether you're an Israelite or not. Now, granted, it does and it doesn't. You can't say that just because someone looks like a Caucasian that they can't be an Israelite, when our people are scattered throughout the earth and they have had children with different women from different nations. But we do know that the Lord is a so-called black man. Why? Because it describes him as one. So we can go based off appearance for certain things, but when you say that a person can't be an Israelite because their skin is too pale or red or whatever, you can't say that, because Israel is scattered throughout the earth and they have had children with different nations. All right. Now, we know through prophecy that the so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and you Negroes are God's chosen people. But as far as you looking like the other nations, you can't say that they can't be Israelites based off of the way they look, because they look like another nation. Because our people are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and they have mingled with other nations. And so they're going to look different from you. All right. So you got Trey Young right here, who's a basketball player for the Atlanta Hawks. And you see his mother right there is white, his father's black. But he can pass for someone from the Northern Kingdom. He kind of look like he can be what Dominican. He could probably go for a Dominican, the way he looks, but he's from the seed of his father, all right? So his father put his seed in this woman, and, this seed grew in this woman's womb, and then she had this child, all right? And it came out to be Trey Young. Same thing right here. You got, Griffin, all right? It's like Blake Griffin and his father right there, and his brother and his son. You look at his son has blonde hair and is light skinned, because I keep saying Clay, but Blake Griffin had a child with a Caucasian woman, all right? But you look at his father had a child with a Caucasian woman, and then it came out to be Blake Griffin, and then Blake Griffin had a child with a white woman, and the boy came out blonde hair, and you know what I mean, and light skin just like them, all right? And we know, who the Israelites are based off prophecy. Like I said again, so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and you Negroes, you God's chosen people. And you've been scattered, and you had children with the other nations. Same thing right here. You got Clay Thompson. Now I can say Clay. All right, Clay Thompson right here. Father, black man. Mother, Caucasian. But look at the way he came out. Light skin. All right. So, our people are going to look different, but doesn't matter, because you even got Tia and Tamara. You know what I mean? The twin sisters, they look like black women, but their father is a Caucasian. Same thing with Tracy Ellis Ross. Her mother is Diana Ross. And Diana Ross has sex with a Caucasian man. And then you look at Tracy, she looks like a black woman, but she's from the seed of that white man. So her lineage goes back to his lineage, which is a so-called white man. All right, you see how that goes, man? It's very simple. All right. So our people have always been around the heathen, man. And not only that, they serve their gods, they sacrifice their children, they done countless things, man, that are just wicked and evil. All right. So check it out. This is Psalms 106 and 35. It says, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. All right. So that's what we did. We were mingled among the heathen nations, the nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, and learned how they do things. All right. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. And they were a snare. They were a trap. All right. We were getting caught up in idol worshiping, which is against the Lord. All right. The Lord said, have no other gods before me. And when you do idol worship, you're worshiping another god. So really, you're committing spiritual fornication by serving other gods that don't matter and have no life and cannot give you life. All right. It says, yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. So our people were sacrificing their children, all right, unto these devils, man. All right. It says, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. So our people were sacrificing their children. All right. They were, it's going to say right here. It says, verse 39, thus were they defiled with their own works and went a whoring with their own inventions. So our people were just completely wicked, going off. All right. Whenever we were mingled among the heathen, because we were learning their ways and not our ways. We were not continuing in the traditions of our nation, all right, which is the Bible, all right. So our people were completely off, all right, and doing wickedly, all right. This is James 1:1. It says, James, a servant of God, and the Lord Hamashiach Yahushai, to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, greeting. All right. So Israel is scattered all over the place. And as you can see right now, our people don't know who they are. They discontinue from their heritage, like the Bible says. All right. They discontinue from their heritage. Why? Because they are mingled among the heathen. All right. So when you're mingled among the heathen, all right, that's what happens. All right. You know, all manners of wickedness is happening. All right. And you're sacrificing your children onto all these damn idols. Well, guess what, man? That's what happens when you discontinue from your heritage and you're mingled among the heathen. All right. Let's go ahead and grab this Esdras or Ezra. All right. Now we read about the Canaanites. Guess what? Here we go in Esdras. Another one. Esdras 9:1. It says, now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. So all these nations, we did not separate ourselves from them. Verse 2, for they have taken their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yeah, the hand of the princes and rulers have been chief in this trespass. So our people have always mingled among the heathen, the Canaanites and the Moabites, and et cetera, which is what we read here in Psalms, that they sacrifice idols of Canaan. So our people were always sacrificing their children, following other gods. They've always done that, and they mix their seed with them. All right. So you got our women bringing in the seed of the heathen, and you got our men mixing with the other nations, which it could be a problem, even though they're of the seed of Israel. But when those children are born, they're learning the ways of the heathen. Because once you marry a heathen, more than likely you're going to be serving their gods, because they can't serve yours. They can't call on your God. Now they can serve, but that doesn't mean they get salvation. But they can serve. But more than likely, if they know that their God truly ain't your God, is not for them, they're not going to serve that God. You know? So that's, our people have always been that way. All right? So the seed belongs to the man, and our people have always been mingled among different nations and having children with different nations. All right? It's always been that way. And our people are scattered abroad right now. So we're not always going to look like who we're naturally supposed to look like, because we're mixing around with different nations. But just because you look a different way does not mean you're not an Israelite. You're still an Israelite by blood, by lineage. All right? So with that, all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.